Hi everyone, it's Sunday, November 20th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So starting with Europe, editor Andrea Guallo says that slaughter is on the rise and tanneries are actually buying from the US right now to replenish some stocks. In the UK and Ireland, prices are the same, but sellers are under pressure from Europe where the buyers are taking advantage of attractive US prices. The British 36 plus ox is still at 83 to 88 cents per kilo. And in Ireland, the range is actually down a bit at 90 to 95 cents per kilo. The European bull supplies are plentiful, and while prices are still weak, they didn't actually decline. Northern German bulls are still selling at €1.10 to €1.15 per kilo for the 40 kilo selections. Looking at European cows, Andrea says there are a number of tensions at play in the market and prices will likely be changing. And when it comes to the veal sector, demand remains strong, but there's been a recent decline in slaughterhouse production, and so that is concerning some in the market. In his analysis, Andrea looks at the state of slaughter across Europe and what's going on with the European purchases of U.S. hides. And he also shares a few bits of information about what's expected for the situation from here to the end of the year, which is not far off. Turning to the U.S., it was another week of mainly steady prices, but as one seller put it, there are some cracks starting to show in the market facade. Now, buyers are still resistant to improving on bids, and it's harder to get them to pay steady levels. Looking specifically at heavy Texas steers, trading prices were lower, and sales were mostly at $26 and $27 for 62-64 pound selections. Cow prices remain steady, although buyers in that sector are equally unenthusiastic about paying steady levels. Combined export sales for the week ending November 10th were 16% lower at 738,700. Now, the total included a surprisingly high level of wet blue sales to Italy, which we referred to in the comments about the European market. Combined shipments dropped 8% this week to 568,700. Looking at estimated slaughter for the week ending November 19th, it's estimated to be 674,000, and that's up just 3,000 head over last week. From South America, editor Ronald Guial reports that raw material prices sagged again this week. Fresh hides were down 6 cents at $1.20 per kilo, and the reference price of TR1 was also lower this week at 64 cents per square foot. Most other Latin American origins are under pressure too. In other news from Brazil, there's new Brazilian leather videos highlighting the tanning sector to bring more awareness there. And from elsewhere in Latin America, we have a report that Mexico's footwear imports exceed their exports. And in Paraguay, their exports are very poor, but on the other hand, bovine leather exports have soared. In Uruguay, the union held a 24-hour strike on Tuesday, affecting the meat processing. And that is all we have for this week. And as a reminder, next week is Thanksgiving in the U.S., and so we are taking the full long holiday, and then we'll see you in 2 weeks. For now, that's all we have. Good night from HideNet.